Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayang pag-ibig, dala sa silanganan, anak ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, tulad ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil. Sa lahat ng bulok, sa singer at sa lalim mong babang, may ginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y talumpay na nagliligid. Tuwing at araw na kailan pa may madilig. Lumay ang araw ng luwan at hangin pagsigaw. Buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pagpay makakamit, ang mga lain ng dahil sa'yo. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy
Okay, so good afternoon. Good morning, guys. So, good morning sa ating mga kaisko at kaiska na nandito ngayon sa Bulwagang Palagtas. So, welcome sa ating Student Industry Conference. By the way, I'm Professor Jane S. Hulma of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, and I will be your moderator for today's event. So, this student conference or student industry conference aim to equip students on the skills, knowledge, and information that you will be needing on your future endeavor pagdating sa workplace. So may mga topic tayo such as ngayon, ang i-discuss ng ating industry partner is digital marketing. Mamaya magdi-discuss about cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. At mamaya magdi-discuss din yung hapon naman ng business report, business communication and report writing. And at the same time, i-resume writing. So, nandito po ang ating apat na industry speaker para i-guide kayo at i-coach kayo. So, without any further ado, let me hear from the Vice President of Students Affairs and Services, Professor Sir Tomas Otestor. And pwede po bang bigyan natin siya ng isang masigabong palakpakan?
Sige. Um, Good morning to everyone. I am thrilled to welcome you to our Student Industry Conference today. And today we gather to explore the intersection of education and industry, aiming to bridge the gap between academic knowledge and real-world application. We are honored to have esteemed speakers from various sectors who will share their insights and experiences. This conference is not just about learning, it's an opportunity for networking and collaboration. So I encourage all of you to engage actively. You ask questions from our speakers and make connections that could shape your future careers. On behalf of our President, Dr. Manuel Muhi, thank you very much for being here, and let's make the most of this exciting day ahead. Have a pleasant morning.
Maraming salamat, Sir Tom Testor. So guys, in behalf of the Alumni Relation, maraming salamat sa ating mga estudyante na nandito ngayon to celebrate with us and to be with us or participate with us in this Student Industry Conference. So I hope yung mga insights nyo at yung mga learnings nyo ay magamit nyo para mag-expand ng network nyo and at the same time, malaman nyo yung mga trends sa mga field na i-discuss mamaya. So, without any further ado, guys, let me introduce our first industry speaker. So, our first industry speaker is a global leader in transforming customer service for healthcare, transport, logistics, insurance, financial services, and tech business. So, they have 20,000 champion agents operating across the 8 strategic market, and they solve millions of customer problems as a world-leading brand in delivering customer service solutions. So let's welcome Ms. Marilyn Bentilla, Vice President for Communication of Everrise Philippines. So guys, papalakpakan naman si Ma'am.
Ma'am, thank you at maraming salamat po sa inyo for patiently waiting until magkaroon tayo ng power supply. Although I think we are still being run by a generator, but at least good enough kasi naman po sa nakikita tayo, nag-usap tayo kanina in the dark. So, I can see that we have, I think, around 30, 40, 50 participants in this session, which is still, I think, a good number. Actually, medyo bababa ako because I'm more used to, to talking na mas kaharap ko kayo if you don't know. So, and I'm happy to see you all. This is, I've been to, just a little bit of context before we start, I've been to PUP several times since many years ago. I represent a BPO company. And for some of you who may know, the BPO industry is very active in partnering with great universities and, mentoring wonderful students, very talented students like you. Kaya po, nandito po ako uli ngayon to share some knowledge, some experiences. I know na with all your, the digital marketing, all the marketing discipline studies that you've had with your expert professors, you may, so many of the principles and the concepts that I will be sharing with you today are already familiar with you. And in fact, baka nga mas alam pa ninyo kaysa sa akin, di ba? But I just like to, let's just consider this a refresher. Especially if, if we come to, I think based on the invitation, this is really a preparation for you to, to venture into the real world. So ano nga ba yung, how are we as marketers in the real world after graduation? Are we going to start a business of our own, or baka some of you have already started your own or businesses, no? Yung mga, kahit yung mga side hustle lang dyan, and already thriving and already, earning some decent revenue for you. But how can we, if the interest to run a business is still there, how do we pursue? How do we sustain our interest, and how do we pursue our passion to keep growing that business? And maybe through the help of the strategies that we will share with you today, we can, we can work on some, we can find some avenues for growth. Actually, these are not really strategies, so maybe we can move on to the second slide. These are not really strategies because, like I said, you may already know many of these marketing principles and applications, but let's just do a quick review of them. But before we move on, again, let me introduce myself. My name is Marilyn Romero Ventanilla, and I am the Vice President for Communication and Marketing of Everise, which is a BPO company. I hold office in BGC, but we have operations worldwide. I've been in the marketing space or marketing profession for 30 years already. Baka, older, older than most of you. But in the BPO industry, I've been doing marketing communications work for around 15 years. And some of the, if you have questions, some of the stories that I may share, they involve my experience in the BPO industry. But even beyond the BPO industry, I already have experience in the media, in entertainment industry, in IT or knowledge management, and even in insurance. So let's, and gaya nga ng sinasabi natin dati, regardless of the industry or the company that you are joining, as a marketer, you will always have, you will always know the marketing principles and applications by heart. Because ang mag-iiba lang naman dyan are the products and services that you will sell. But, the fundamentals of marketing will always be there. So, let's just enjoy our journey as marketers. All right, so moving on slide 2. So let's talk about let's cover briefly some big ideas. Thank you, Sir Tom, kayo pa nag-adjust. So let's cover some, talk about some concepts. Again, very familiar with this, but just to touch on digital marketing. And as you know, these are the marketing activities that involve online channels, and we need to talk, expound on online channels because we already know about this. So digital marketing is everywhere. We live and breathe digital marketing because it surrounds us. From the moment that we wake up, we are already, some of the earlier touch points at the start of the day would be with a digital channel. So digital marketing is already something that's very familiar with us. Inbound marketing is also part of our marketing principles or marketing activities, and it entails, the attraction of transactions or customers or activities into our products and services. Again, utilizing the marketing channels that we identify. Content marketing is the application and utilization and development of content. These can be messages, lengthy messages or full-length messages. This can be very, um, very brief messages such as text messages or SMS. And these are all intended to pull our customers or potential buyers into our products and services. And then finally, we know when we talk about marketing, of course, we know that this also involves a buyer. And when we talk about buyer's journey, it starts with the awareness of our products and services or our brand, and then the consideration stage for our product or services, and then finally the decision stage, whether to adopt or purchase our product or services. Actually, there's a fourth stage, but this is already going beyond the buyer stage, which is the customer journey, the entire customer journey, or the customer experience journey, which also involves the advocacy for our products and services or our brand. I hope everything is clear. Please let me know if you still need to explain further, but I doubt it. So I think we're all good. All good. Okay, so we can move on to the next slide. And I just like to give you or show you a snapshot of the digital channels that we utilize and that we encounter every day. And I'm sure all of these are familiar with you. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, of course, X or Twitter, formerly Twitter, and then Snapchat, IG. And some of us, I hope, have already started building their LinkedIn profiles because eventually this is going to be very helpful to you, for you, not only for networking, but it's also a good channel for you to gain knowledge from other experts or from other professors, whom eventually you might also have the opportunity to interact with. So I'm not sure if the screen is showing sorry for the small sized fonts, but the bars there, the columns there, just showing the different facets of the digital channels, like in terms of the customer or the user profile, or what are the values that they bring to the audience or to the users, and also how most of these are accessed. So, but the data is there. I mean, the chart is there and it's readily available. There are several reports that show these data about the digital channels, and I'm for sure, like I said, these may already be familiar with you. Now, on the next slide, I'd also like to share with you some stats about the Philippine digital landscape. How many, what is your current population in the Philippines? Can you give some numbers? Would you know? Anybody? Take a guess. Any number? Okay, sige. So, clue would be close to that. The active mobile connections in the Philippines. So actually, we have around 118 million Filipinos in the country. That's the population of actually not Filipinos. So that's the population of the Philippines currently, but at least as of the latest census. But based on the number that we see here, 99.3% of our population in the Philippines are active mobile users, have active mobile connections. So can you imagine that, how intricately and how widely connected we are? Like every siguro i-deduct na lang natin yung number of the babies or the minors or the preschoolers, but maybe from 7 years old and up or 10 years old and up, these are already active mobile users, and as mobile users, for sure, they also have internet connection, whether it's data or Wi-Fi connection. So just can see extent of the connectivity, of the connections that the Filipinos have. There are also about 87 million internet users in the Philippines, which is equal to 73.6% internet penetration. In terms of social media, there are 86.75 billion users. But if you look at the Facebook users, the number of Facebook users, it's also the same. So that means that everyone who has a social media account is on Facebook. So they're on Facebook, but they may also be on other channels like Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or even Twitter or X. So again, showing us the extent of the social media engagement and connections that we have in the Philippines.
Hello po,
So
good
moving
morning
on to the next
po.
slide. Let's think. Let's now think of ourselves as as businessmen or startup business owners. How many of you here are planning on opening a business maybe after graduation or maybe a short time from now, not very long from now? Anyone? May I just know what the programs or the courses that you are pursuing now? Marketing, management, sorry, finance. Okay. So finance, first, well, hindi rin naman malayo because I also know some people who have a finance background, who studied finance, who have degrees in finance and even accounting, but have also pursued businesses who have become successful business people. So, and with finance, of course, we need to manage finances. We need to manage resources. And one way that for us to know that how finances and resources are managed um, efficiently and successfully is when we run businesses. And that's why let's talk about businesses. So let's just think for a moment, at least during this session, at least during my talk, that we are planning to set up our businesses, right? So maybe you can think of ourselves as a startup business people, a business person, or maybe we already have, an acquired business maybe from the family that we just want to continue running or operating by ourselves. So parang pinamana sa atin or pinagkatiwala sa atin. So these are, really great opportunities for us to exercise our marketing learnings. And so when we talk about businesses or startup, whether it's a startup business or a huge business, we always want to talk about our brand. We want to talk about our products and services. We want to talk about our customers and our target audience or target buyers and sellers. So all of these elements also need to involve or be part of a strategy so that it will give us a semblance of a measure of whether we are running our businesses successfully or not. So we have here some elements or maybe some parameters that we can look at, that we can consider when running a business. Mention about our brand. So definitely when we want, when we have a product or service, we want this to be represented by a brand. And a brand, as we know, is not just a logo, right? A brand can be a name, can be a company name, can be a trade name, can be a product name, or it can be a logo represented by, a visual or an image. It can also be, the experience that you create. So, for example, okay, top of mind na bigla ko lang naisip si Bello. Which, oh, by the way, also started as a small business, started by Dr. Vicky Bello herself. So anyway, so it was now Bello is not just a logo. It's not just the products, mga sabon or what the beauty products that she sells. It's not just a product or service, but it's a total experience according to the ibang mga artista, di ba? So it's a total experience, and that is also part of the brand. So when we talk about a total experience, whether it's a satisfactory experience, whether it's a pleasurable experience, or whether it's a negative experience, that also forms part of your brand. Next, we also talk about, when we're talking about when we have our businesses, we need to capture, we need to attract audience. And one of the initial stages or phases that we can do that is by leads generation. So, diba, sometimes you need, leads generation can be in a form of forms, written forms or online forms. It can also be in the form of replies to our text messages or responses to the vouchers that we distribute. So these are some forms of leads generation. And of course, um, we want to grow our base, our customer base, because how can anyone operate a business without wanting to grow, the customers or the customer base, unless very niche na lang yung marketing strategy natin or even the products or services that we sell. It's very niche and are very and cater to very targeted, very small group of audience. But just the same, we still want to sustain that customer base. Okay, is everything clear so far? I hope I'm still making sense because please feel free to raise your hands if anything is unclear or if you want to contribute anything or if you want to ask questions. All right? I think we have microphone. If there's no microphone, at least I think we can hear each other pa naman eh. Dito lang naman tayo sa room. Okay, so setting this strategy for our startup business. Next slide, please. I'd like to share with you what I consider the 5 steps for setting the strategy. So as we know that, strategies, again, for sure, based on your studies, starts with somewhere. And it needs to start with measuring an identifiable and measurable goal. And that is the first step for setting up the strategy. Set a measurable goal. And if I may expound on that, set SMART goals. Has anyone heard about SMART goals? SMART goals. Yes, ma'am. With glasses and long hair and light blue shirt. Can you stand up? Just for everybody. Just make this a sharing section. Yes, anyone. Please make your voices louder. Very good. Thank you, ma'am. What's your name? Ren. But thank you for sharing your answers. And these are correct. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and relevant, and time-bound. And that's why these are really good, measures or parameters for us to start with our strategy management. No, so we need to, really deep dive on our goals. Ano ba yung gusto natin mangyari sa buhay natin habang ino-operate natin yung business? And I hope that, the SMART goals would be a good parameter for us to really measure our goals in startup, in our startup business. So let's, for a moment, picture ourselves as a startup operator, startup business operator, and our business is a photography studio or photography service. So again, let's imagine na photographer kayo. And here's an example. So si Aiza. So Aiza is a photographer. So let's picture ourselves as Aiza. And as a photographer, and Aiza, expertise in Aiza talaga is photography and videography. And she wants to make a living out of it. What do you think would be in Aiza's mind if she wants to grow her business in photography? Maybe, of course, she needs, from the previous slide, she needs to talk about her brand. She needs to talk about her customer. She needs, she needs to think about her customer. And she also needs to think about how to grow her business. So, in the next slide, Aiza, the photographer, or you, Aiza, the photographer, kasi kunyari kayo si Aiza, no? Would think about the audience, whether the current audience or the target audience, the target audience, the audience that she still needs, the customer that she still needs to capture or to chase for her to grow her business. So like let's say, Aiza is into wedding photography. Siguro maliit pa lang yung clientele base niya. Siguro relatives lang. She started with relatives and then happy customers. Nag-refer sila kay Aiza. So nag-unti-unti lumalaki yung mga customers ni Aiza. So Aiza started with a bride, customer niya talagang target customers niya yung bride because yung mga bride naman talaga yung mga gusto magpa-picture, di ba? So the bride would be the target or the primary customer of Aiza. But among the guests, Aiza would also meet people who are very satisfied with the photos that Aiza has captured. So, mag-inquire sila kay Aiza about her rates, about her services, maybe even book, an appointment with Aiza for not only for weddings, but also for other events. So, lumalaki na yung customer base ni Aiza. However, after a few months or maybe after a few years, you, Aiza, as the photographer, sense now, I think I need to grow more. I need to expand beyond the wedding business or the wedding customer base. And I think I have some friends who are also operating their own businesses. One of them is, sige, let's think of a name. Anong name ang pwede natin ibigay sa kanya? A guy's name. Andrew. Narinig ko Andrew. Sige, kunyari Andrew. So, Andrew is a coffee shop owner. So, meron siyang small coffee shop owner, maybe within the campus or just outside of the campus. But it's so plain looking. At gusto niyang maging mas lively naman yung cafe niya. That's why Aiza approached Andrew and sabi niya, mag-decorate naman tayo sa coffee shop mo. And sabi ni Andrew, gusto ko yung mga photographs that some of the photographs that Aiza has captured. So, that again became an opportunity for Aiza to expand her customer base. So, Aiza sells his photos to Andrew that Andrew eventually hangs in the coffee shop. So, that's another target market that Aiza is able to capture. And then, so after a while, after several months, or maybe after a couple of years, sabi ni Aiza, I still want to grow my business. I want to capture and tap a different customer group. And that's why nakita niya yung mga marketing managers. So kayo, future marketing managers, for example, who are looking for freelance photographers for their company events or company product shots, or anything that requires the services of a photographer and videographer. That's why, nag-tap na naman si Aiza ng another customer group, and these were the marketing managers or the heads of the marketing team from the corporations or from the companies. So in a span of months or maybe a couple of years or maybe just a little less than 5 years, Aiza was able to expand or to grow her customer base only because she really thought about her strategy well. She applied the principles, the principles that we've learned about brand strategy, identifying the brand, identifying her objectives, setting measurable goals, and also identifying the customers where she wants to grow her business in. All right, clear so far? Is still getting interesting to you? Okay. All right, so like I said, kwentuhan lang tayo, and feel free to share your insights as well. Now, on the next slide, let's talk about the brand again. So, as we mentioned, a brand is what people say about, or what people say, or what people think about you, or sometimes what people feel about you. Because sabi nga natin, a brand can also be an experience, right? So, this is your brand, and this is the epitome of your totality, of the totality of your business. So, what are when we think about our brand, of course, as a startup business operator, we want to know our strongest assets. So what is our strongest assets that we want to tell our target customers? Ito ba yung in terms of affordability, or in terms of, quick response time, or in terms of connectivity, especially if we're doing online selling? Is this in terms of availability 24/7 or round the clock? So those are some of the parameters that we can measure, and these all make up the characteristics of your brand and the strengths of your brand. So ano ba yung pinaglalaban ng brand mo? Are we about, maybe we are a non-government organization or not-for-profit organization, and are we advocating for maybe animal welfare? So these are some of the causes and the principles that and the values that our brand stands for. And in terms of, we can also, when talking about brand, we also need to think about the language, especially knowing that the language should align with your target audience. Kung ang brand mo ba ay pamasa, so paano ba tayo makikipag-usap sa kanila, sa mga target customers natin? Tagalog ba? Taglish? Or are we going to use local dialects, especially kung meron tayong presence in the provinces and other areas outside of the NCR? So these are also part of your brand considerations. So I think no need to expound further, because I think naiintindihan na natin lahat what a brand is, components of a brand, and what makes up, what makes a brand stand out. So just to hear from the audience again. Could you share with me some of the brand that you like, or a brand that stands out for you, or a brand that has made a difference maybe in your life? Any share it, please? Sorry. Any points, any stories to share? Ay, sige ma. Total nagtatanong ako sa... For sure, with the multitude of brands that we encounter every day, ang dami natin pwedeng kwento, di ba? With our brand encounters. I'm just curious to know, ano ba yung mga brands na tumatatak sa atin, sa isipan natin, or nagpukurot sa puso natin, di ba? So again, a brand can be a visual, can be tactical, can be something, can be experiential. So ano pwede nating ma-share about a brand has been memorable for us? Anyone who wants to share? Ma'am, you were raising your hand kanina. Use the mic if you want, if you're comfortable using the mic. Thank you.
Siguro, audible po. Siguro po yung one of the brands na tumatak sa isip ko is Raya Filipina, if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Pag iniisip niyo pa ba sa mga nipple tapes or parang woman na mga things na ginagamit, yun po yung parang unang tatatak sa isip niyo kasi yung market nila malawak, and also yung story ng nag-start sa kanila si Cleo, which is 20 years old pa lang siya na nag-start siya, which is nakakadagdag sa branding nila kasi maganda yung story ng owner, and nagsimula lang siya sa family nila, then ngayon lumaki na yung parang business nila, and also isa rin sa dumagdag sa brand nila is yung endorser nila, which is si Miss Nadine Lustre, which is known for women empowerment po. But that's why parang for me very relevant and tumatatak sa isip ng tao yung branding nila.
Hiraya. Kiraya Filipina. Ma'am, may I know your name? They ask for your name lang, para lang ano. Anna. Okay, thank you so much, Anna. And yes, thank you for so much for sharing with that. And you mentioned something about, you know, the story, di ba? Yung legacy or maybe the story and how the business grew, the brand grew uh, as a thriving business up to the point that they were able to engage the the talent of Nadine Lustre, who's also a symbol or somebody that stands for women empowerment as well, which is also a reflection of what Hiraya Filipina also stands for. So this, this is an example of the brand. The brand can be wherever you go, whatever touch point, whatever channel, whatever opportunity, dapat consistent yung story. And up to, for example, when you are engaging an endorser, especially if it's a certain celebrity endorser, then the value should also reflect the brand. All right? Thank you so much. Now, moving on. So I think we can skip this because we've already touched on this, like a customer and the problems that we solve. Some of these are already shared by Anna earlier. So I think we all know what our brand should already be, right? Ma'am, am I still doing good on time? Or do I need to hurry up? Okay, sorry po kasi nag-time check lang po ako kasi baka time's up na ako eh. Okay, so on the next slide, and I'll just gauge my presentation and my talk based on your reactions then. Kasi baka, of course, we want to make this session as interesting as possible for everybody. All right, so next slide, please. Po, sir. Okay, so when we talk about, of course, when we operate a business, hindi mawawalang competition. And our competitors also consider us their competitors. So that's why we also need to be wary of our competitors. Lagi natin pag-aaralan what our competitors are doing. And we can start by, of course, studying. Dapat, syempre, una-una alam na natin kung sino tayo, di ba? Who our brand is. I mean, who we are as a brand. So that when we get to know our competitors, alam din natin how we can leverage our brand. We will already know how to compare our brand strengths versus those of competitors. But and what are our competitors, by the way? These can be direct competitors. These can also be indirect competitors, and these can be even the comparators. Or ito yung mga brands or products or services that have similarities to yours, pero iba naman yung target audience nila. So, and so these are the different competitor groups that we can consider for our brand. Okay. All right. So when how do we get to know more about our competitors? Of course, you need to do a competitive analysis. Like we mentioned, we first need to get to know more about our brand so that we can leverage our strengths and maybe even our weaknesses and opportunities versus theirs. So on the next slide, sir, on the next yan. So gather intelligence. What's I would just share that I would consider your generation so lucky because during my time napakahirap mag-gather ng intelligence or ng market ng competitor information. We need to do a lot of um, trips to different company offices or kailangan namin mag-research using pen and paper. Usually, pag nagsisurvey kami, meron kami dalang mga folder at meron mga papel at forms na kailangan namin i-distribute at ipa-fill out dun sa mga survey respondents namin. And sometimes it's also, doing, shopping, sorry, mystery shopping, visits dun sa mga, and we still, a lot of companies still do this, but we also need to do a lot of mystery shopping visits to the competitors' offices or shops even para malaman namin kung ano yung what the competitors' businesses are doing. But these days, we can already do them again utilizing digital channels, especially when we look at the competitors' online communication channels such as Facebook or the website or the maybe the even the offline marketing channels that they use, the billboard, at least alam natin kung saang locations sila nag-i-install ng mga billboards or out-of-home advertising nila. So these are the kinds of intelligence that we can do to study more about our competitors. All right? So next slide, please. Now, gathering information doesn't just stop there. Of course, we know that this can be very overwhelming with all the data that we receive, especially if all of the data gathering are generated or done using online channels. Then using online channels we can do this via, sometimes you can ask for reports from maybe Mentimeter. Sorry, not Mentimeter. So there's a media meter, or media monitoring companies can also help track the performance of our competitors for us, and we can utilize those data to see how our competitors are doing, in terms of market share, in terms of revenue share, customer base, etc., for certain periods versus our own. And it's always good to to take good care of this data and ensure that whenever we store this data, we always store clean data. Kasi kung talagang hakot lang tayo ng hakot ng mga data or insights and intel from our customers without aligning them to our business objectives, then useless din yung data gathering natin or intelligence gathering natin. That's why it's always very important for us to measure. And this is what we need to start doing next. Again, going back to our strategy that we mentioned earlier, we need to, our objective should be measurable. And that's why after data gathering or competitive intelligence gathering, we need to start measuring them versus our own performance. So, kunyari tayo, what are some of the metrics that we do when we want to gauge our, the success of our business? Like, for example, if you are Aiza, a photographer, and, maybe at the start of your business, you can start measuring your number of customers, number of transactions, or number of inquiries. Of course, your revenue per month or per year or per specific period. But then after a while, you need to also add to the KPIs, such as how many referrals have you gotten, how many responses or leads generation responses have you received and have actually converted into sales. So we need to again identify those KPIs and measure those KPIs versus our target of our objectives, and see when how we are doing or how we are faring versus the data that we see from our competitors. So like for example, ano pa yung mga famous or popular na photography studios dito? Great Image, for example. So again, just thinking about thinking of names top of mind. So Great Image, and for sure, nag-start din sila sa Umpista. Nag-start din sila sa maliit. I also kind of know the story of Great Image from decades ago, and now they're everywhere, di ba? Halos lahat ng malls nandun ng Great Image Studio. So, ano pa yung mga stories ni Great Image that maybe somebody like Aiza, who has already started growing her business, can look forward to para someday maging aspirational story naman, great image can be an aspirational story for her para ma-achieve din ni Aiza yung level of success na na-achieve ni Great Image Studio. Alright? Okay. Next. Okay. So, still about the competitive analysis. Again, we mentioned about our competitors. So, we just need to identify kung sino ba yung mga kompetensya natin na dapat natin i-analyze. So, again, if we are in the same niche or in the same industry or maybe in the same profession, for example, si Aiza is a photographer, so she can leverage on the intelligence of Great Image Studios or other similar studio or other similar photographers na nakilala din. Okay? And then we can also benchmark against the industry. Ano ba yung photography services industry standards that Aiza can also start gauging her performance against? Again, para mas alam din ni Aiza, she can chart her way forward, her growth forward, para at least, diba, sabihin ni Aiza, lalaban ba ako sa industriya o kung ano yung tinitignan ng industriya? O dito muna ako in my own small world and see maybe after 5 years, titingnan ko what the industry is telling. And then, let's also highlight the opportunities. Hindi naman lahat ng minimeasure natin are the successes. But we also need to look at the failures, the road bumps that we have encountered. And these can be considered opportunities for us to overcome so that we can, as we move forward, we can continue growing our business. All right? So, talking about some of the industry competitors, you can see the top players in the industry or similar brands that have the same story or content, or the sites, the same sites or locations that compete for the same, the digital sites that compete for the same search terms, or the websites where the audience is also cross-browsing. Okay, still good? Still interesting so far? All right, thank you. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. We now move on. So we've already wrapped up, the 5 strategies that we can consider as we grow our business. So let's now look into the application of the digital marketing techniques. And again, as a business operator and a brand owner, somebody who deploys the brand to the customers, our objective involves attraction of customers, conversion, and then the closure of, if we're talking about a sale, and of course, sustaining that relationship with the customer by causing or by generating delightful experiences. And for each customer touch point, attract, convert, close, and delight, we can utilize some of these digital channels such as blogs or application of keywords, social content publication, utilization of forms, call to action forms, etc. So for each touch point, there are different opportunities for us to utilize the digital marketing, digital channels. Okay? All right. Next slide, please. Sure, next slide. Thank you. Okay. So the first digital channel that we will consider is the search engine. And as we know, everything, when we want to know more about a product, or even if you don't know about the product or a brand, if we want to know something about something, we go to Google or we go to Bing or kung ano man yung search engine that you're using and run a search, an online search. And that is why we start with the search engine, or search engine optimization is one of our key, digital marketing techniques that we will use. So please give me an example of a product or service that you usually or you frequently search for. Hindi masyado confidential. Anyone who wants to share? Siguro ngayon, sige, tomorrow, ngayon 12:11, so tomorrow 12:12. So siguro pupunta na tayo sa Lazada or sa Shopee or sa TikTok Shop. At magse-search na tayo kung ano yung mga, maybe kung ano natin gustong bilhin or maybe gusto nating gifts. So that can also be, Google doesn't just, search doesn't just happen on Google or yung mga search engines. So, just give me an example of a product that you always search. Damit. Okay, of course, ako rin. Madalas ako nagsisearch ng damit. And in fact, medyo malapit na mapuno yung, yung cart ko sa Lazada kasi kaka-search ko ng damit. But, and the damit is both for myself and of course for gifts, for Christmas gifts. So, yeah. So, good, no? Because most of the time, di ba? And that's, sabi ko nga, di ba? Halos mapupuno na yung cart ko. Because I searched, I saw items that I like. Again, considering them based on price, based on availability, kung mag-ship ba sa akin kagad before Christmas, or based on, the quality of the product. Kaya yun yung nilalagay ko sa cart ko. And many of, similar transactions happen every day. But according to Google, it accounts for 90% of the searches on computers. A desktop maybe, but I think more so on mobile. So even if confine pa lang natin yan sa desktop search, it's still a huge number. And again, if we were to do that on mobile, I think magiging 95, 98%. But that's a good start for us. So what does this tell us? That we want to make sure that our brand is searchable. Our brand is visible to our target audience, and that we give them the clues, the hints, para ma-search nila tayo, or during their search activity, tayo yung lalabas to sa search results. And some of the things that we can do there, of course, by the way, some tips for us to make our brands more searchable, or, would also appear to the search results would be, we need our messages and our brands and everything related to our brand be more relevant. We also need our search results, if we are feeding the search engine, to be easy to read. We also want our brand promise to be credible. We want to be honest, we want to be honest and credible, and it has to be well built for the needs of the customers. The brand promise and the value proposition needs to be accurate, and whatever we are offering our customers, especially if they're using mobile, needs to be optimized for mobile. So has anyone heard about bidding for Google search results? Of course, when we say, for example, I'm on Google and I search for, let's say, um, perfume for ladies or perfume for men. So siguro ang lalabas dyan yung mga more popular brands. Kunyari, CK, Calvin Klein, or maybe some of you are fans of Zara or always buy from Zara. So meron ng perfume line si Zara, di ba? So maybe si Zara will also do some search engine optimization para siya yung kaakyat sa search engine results. Maybe top 10 or the first page of the search engine results. So, okay. Hello? Hello? Hina po. Yes? Mic? Ayan. Okay. So those are, some of the tactics that we can deploy. So kunyari, again, going back to Aiza's example, if gusto ni Aiza na maging, Aiza, na siya yung mag-appear dun sa, especially these days, no? na marami ding very high, very in demand din ng mga photographers maybe for Christmas party coverage, then Aiza's services can be, well, she can work on some tactics to ensure that um, her brand or her company name will be on the top 10 search engine results. Again, applying these principles. Right? Questions? There's a science behind it, but that would require a maybe 2-3 sessions to talk about search engine optimization, because by then we're all going to talk about choosing the keywords and also the bidding, plus yung budgeting for that, plus yung timing for that. So we'll just leave it for maybe for some other time. But for now, at least we know the principles. Okay lang ba yun for now? All right. Thank you. Now, sir, next slide po. Okay. So, but for sure, we also want to be, when we have a business, we also want our customers to drive to drive them to our website. And having a good website experience is key, because again, based on the previous slide that we mentioned, we want our brand to be credible. We want to be honest. We want to be accurate. And the content, the information that we share with our customers, once napapunta na natin sila sa website natin, should be relatable to them, should be relevant to them, and should be accurate. Dapat walang maling information na parang siguro pag sinabi natin yung price list natin, biglang outdated na pala yung price list. So it doesn't make for a good website user experience. So dapat we should also consider everything, including the speed to access the website, to load the website, the speed to navigate the links, to navigate the different sections of the website or the landing page. Simple structure is a simple framework is always better para mas mabilis yung navigation ng customers. All right? And it also needs to be very mobile, adaptable for mobile use. So again, whether your customer is using a desktop or a laptop or a tablet or a mobile device, it has to be very, very mobile or device friendly, so that mas maganda user experience ng customers. Okay, next slide po. After working on our search engine strategy, let's also think about paid search ads. Because hindi naman pwede na, we want to grow our business, pero hindi na tayo mag-i-invest sa advertising. And this is where paid search ads would really be very helpful for us. And compared to outdoor advertising and traditional advertising, alam naman natin that digital advertising is way cheaper than traditional advertising. And that's why, sometimes kahit na 100 pesos maybe or even 50 pesos can already help us, place our ads on Facebook or even on Google, depending on the ads and the sizes of the ads and the other metrics that we will apply on the search ads. Okay. For search ads, there's also for the paid search ads, there's also the component of pay per click. So like the more unique your keyword search are, and the more likely that the user or your target audience will click on your keywords or on your ads, then mas mataas yung rates na tinatawag sa kanila. Again, this is also has something to do with the bidding that I mentioned earlier. But I think for now it's worth knowing that paid search ads are a good investment, and even if we need to pay a little bit more, especially if we're targeting a very direct audience, it's also worth worth investing in their search ads. Especially since we know right away that even the click-through rates would already give us very valuable insights and data, which will be very helpful for us redirecting our brand. Okay? All clear so far? All right. Next po. I think we've already explained it earlier, so we can skip this. And then, so after the, so we already mentioned about the SEO and then the paid search ads. We now go to display advertising. And whenever you use your Facebook or IT, not so much your IT, pero dumadami na rin, especially those Facebook or TikTok especially, you see a lot of ads, diba? Or maybe if you're when you're using when you're watching videos on YouTube, diba? Ang daming mga OTTs or yung mga ang hinaharang or biglang disturb yung viewing experience natin ng mga ads. And this is all because of the display ads that marketers use as part of their strategy. Now, this is also a good investment in your business because you can target the appearance of your advertising based on your target profile. So, like for example, your age group is 20 to 24 students from Metro Manila, and the lifestyle maybe gusto nila, favorite nila si maybe, well, maybe favorite nila si Bini or sino man yung mga favorite celebrity entertainers natin. So we can already target our the appearance of our display advertising based on our target customer. Alright? And but what's also important is not just, basta lang tayo nagdi-display. Basta lang tayo nagpapalabas ng advertising, whether it's a static ad or a video ad. But it's also very important for us to use attractive and relatable images and stories. So, for example, some of the stories, if we're talking about, again, fashion, so something like that, I think, would appeal a lot among the female users. So, maybe something similar, a male model would also be attractive for the male users. So, we need to use imagery that would be very attractive to our target audience or something that would be very relevant for them. Or maybe if you are a pet lover and you're targeting pet lovers, then maybe images of pets, of dogs and cats. Lalo na ngayon ang dami nag-aalaga ng pets. So something that, that's also an example that you can use. Alright, next slide po. So, and we mentioned about social posts. So we can also use this, sponsored social posts on our social media accounts. If you notice yung mga, as we scroll down or as we stream on YouTube, ang daming mga nag-a-appear, yung mga sponsored, nakalagay na sponsored ads. And then you just need to wait for a few seconds before you can skip them. So these are some of the sponsored ads. Alright? Next. How to launch a sponsored ad. Similar to this, the techniques that we mentioned earlier. So we just need to identify our target audience, our intention. Gusto ba nating makapture ang audience natin or target customers outside of the NCR or maybe within NCR pero ibang cities naman. Or maybe if schools, ibang schools naman. So again, targeting our target audience would be very fundamental and one of the key steps to use. And then utilizing attractive images that would relate well to our audience, again, is very important. And then, see the activities of your target audience. Per day or for a certain period, ilan ba yung click-through rate natin? Ilan na nag-click sa post natin? And how many of those have you actually converted into sale? So that you can sustain those ads that are successful, that have generated high click-through rates and conversion. And then you can already disregard or discontinue those ads that are not performing, again, based on the metrics or based on the performance that you have generated in your digital channels. All right? Next slide. Okay, so we move on to another marketing tactic, which is text marketing. How many of you still read text or has responded to an ad or a text ad? Usually, mga ads ngayon, di ba, may mga kasamang links yan. Although, again, we are always warned na be very careful about clicking the links on text because most of these are spam. But, whether it's considered spam or not, it's still a form of marketing, which is text marketing. And this is also very important, very helpful in my, in my line of work. For example, we utilize this a lot for internal promotions, especially if you are working, if you are part of a large organization, maybe with 10,000 plus employees, and you need to reach your coworkers or your co-employees via all available channels, communication channels, then text messages is also very good. So for text marketing, you can remind them, you can send them quick reminders. So today is the last day or last few hours to avail of the 20% discount voucher or something like that. So at least it's something that just reinforces, the marketing message that you have already launched in other digital channels such as the paid search ads or the Facebook ads or the sponsored ads or even the outdoor advertising ads. So supplementary ads and stuff. Sometimes, although I don't really see this to be a primary marketing communication channel, but most of the brand owners or business owners, just utilize this as a supplementary marketing tool. Okay? All right. And then, sir, next part. Email marketing. Do you still read emails? For those who are using Gmail or maybe still on I don't know, people still use Yahoo Mail these days, but on Gmail, of course, we are being inundated by email messages every day, napupuno yung inbox natin. And many of these are actually sales emails, right? And this, I think, for some businesses, these are still good marketing channels for us because at least you are, especially if you have a email subscriber base or if you have leads, that you have generated from the forms that we have distributed, and you can utilize these email addresses and other contact information for sending email, then this should be very good. One advantage of email marketing is that you can, include as much information as you want. Of course, you just need to. It doesn't have to be a lengthy email because hindi na babasahin yan ng recipient natin. But we can, include all the information and links that we need to include. Just make it more attractive and more interesting for our recipients. And we'll still be able to get, we can also measure the open rate of our email blast to our target audience. All right? Okay. So some quick tips for doing email marketing is that it's always good to have a big database of email addresses. But again, these data need to be clean. I'm sure na pag-aralan din natin that data cleaning is very important, and this also goes for database cleanup. So make sure that we have a very clean database so that hindi naman nasasayang yung mga email marketing initiatives. And we can also utilize automated or maybe automated email distribution lists such as HubSpot or MailChimp, and then ensure that our objectives are always on point in every email that we send out, and then keep on testing if the email messages that we send is always successful. If not, discard, then move on to the next email message that we need to send out, and retain those that have proven success. All right? Okay, questions so far? Okay, so for the digital marketing techniques and channels, channels that we have considered as Aiza. Again, tayo si Aiza. Aiza is a photographer, and Aiza is thinking of ways, the digital marketing ways, digital marketing channels that she can tap in growing her business. So we talk about search engine optimization, paid advertising, sponsored advertising, text marketing, and email marketing. So I think, Aiza would already be very equipped to grow her business. She already has a good site of her. She has very good business objective. She knows her customers well. She's very grounded with her marketing value, her brand values. She knows her competitors well, again based on the marketing intel, and she now has this full suite of marketing channels and platforms that she can utilize to know more about her customers, to grow her business, and to maybe even build relationships outside of her business circles. So again, those are some of. I hope this has been very careful, very helpful for all of you, whether you are pursuing to operate a business, to run a business of your own, or maybe apply these principles even as you get employed, maybe help your company grow in terms of branding by applying these digital marketing techniques. I hope that some of these insights have helped you with, with our initiatives moving forward. So on the next slide, sir, we're almost done po. Oh, sorry, there's one more pa pala. Native advertising. Sorry, ah. So native advertising is, as maybe as the term suggests, it's something that looks like its environment or something that is native to the channel or to the platform where the advertising appears. And for example, if, like let's say on YouTube, we are playing a game, video games, and an ad appears that also looks like a video game. That is an example of a native advertising. Or for example, if you are watching a video about our favorite celebrity and an advertising featuring your favorite celebrity appears, then that can also be considered native advertising. Or if you're looking for maybe again an earlier example, fashion, and an ad appears of your favorite celebrity endorsing that fashion that you are looking at or you're looking for, that can also form part of your or be an example of your native advertising. So anything that mimics, the environment of the platform, the communication platform that you are using, is considered native advertising. Clear so far about native advertising? All right. So native advertising doesn't have to be a static image. It can also be a video, as mentioned earlier, yung parang video game, ad. It could also be an article. Like for example, if you're reading yung mga school, reports ninyo, or reading materials ninyo, and suddenly an ad appears that with a link to another interesting article related to what you're reading, that can also be native advertising. Those ads can also be an article, a feature article, can also be an editorial article, as an example. When you are navigating maybe Waze or Grab or Google Maps, and then a map, an ad suddenly appears, that also looks like, that directs you to or points you to a certain location in the map, then that can also be considered a native advertising. Okay? All clear? All right. Sure. Next one. So that wraps up again, the native advertising is the final addition to some of the platforms and marketing channels that we can utilize as we grow our digital marketing strategy. Again, if we are Aiza, a photographer, a budding business operator who wants to grow the business, and these can be some of the channels and strategies and tactics that Aiza can consider in growing her business, because after all, these may be considered, ano nga ba yung smart natin? That these her can be aligned to her objectives that are smart, sorry, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. All right. So some takeaways here: keep things simple. Simple is always very good. Everywhere we go. If we already have the bandwidth to go complex, to go full on, then we can do that. But at least it's always safe to start simple and keep it simple for a long while. And you know, basic, still very basic to start. But you should not be afraid to use a combination of marketing techniques and ideas. That's why we talked about the different marketing touch points and strategies. But all of these are part of the marketing ecosystem. And again, as Aiza, the photographer, the businesswoman, she can utilize all these touch points as part of her business strategy ecosystem, so that she can really leverage her value, her brand value, and her growth in the business. Think of your marketing activity as an ecosystem. Again, as mentioned, all those touch points, all those marketing channels and platforms are already part of the ecosystem. And don't always combine, always be more experimental in combining both offline and online channels, because a lot of offline channels still work well when combined with online. Okay, and then focus on your attention on what's working. We kept mentioning earlier on that based on the tests that we received from the digital channels that we utilize, and based on our monitoring, we can sustain those campaigns that are working well for us, and we can already discard those that are not working for us. So we can focus on what's working. And then as we gain, as we get more comfortable in application, in utilizing all these digital channels, all applying all these tactics within the digital marketing ecosystem, we can already gain confidence, not only in sustaining our business today or these days, but also in capturing a wider base of customers, and maybe venturing to a different product line or service, right? Diversify our businesses in the long haul. All right, but while doing all those, let us not forget that we should all have fun. It's always important to have fun in everything that we do. Otherwise, sobra tayo mag-stress, at it's not good for stress to overwhelm us. For sure, ano din yan. We've also experienced that in our studies. Kami rin, experience this at work. Mahirap magpaka-stress at bawal magpaka-stress. That's why, even as a marketing strategy development or planning, you should always have fun. Keep experimenting, but always ensure that even as we venture and keep experimenting, trying out new things, always look for the bright side of things and the fun side of things. Okay? And so on that note, I wrap up my presentation. I hope I was able to share with you some helpful tips and useful insights that you can apply not only with your journey as a future marketer, but as somebody who also needs to support the brand building initiatives of the company that you will eventually be part of. Okay, so final slide, sir. Thank you very much, and I hope we connect. I hope we can, thank you. This is my LinkedIn profile. If you're on LinkedIn, I hope we get to connect with each other and let's share insights, continue sharing insights about marketing, business, or maybe about anything that interests you. Maraming salamat.
So, saglit lang guys ha, medyo guys lang po, let me call on VP Tomas Otestor and Engineer Florinda Ichiquindo to award the certificate to Ms. Marilyn Bentenilla, Vice President of Communication, Everrise Philippines Incorporation. So let me read the certificate. Dito po tayo sa gitna, ma'am. This certificate of appreciation is hereby given to Ms. Marilyn Bentenilla, Vice President of Communication, Everrise Philippines Incorporation, in grateful acknowledgement of her engagement and insightful academic contribution as speaker, imparting unparalleled knowledge and expertise on digital marketing during Student Industry Conference held on December 11, 2024 in Bulwagang, Balagtas, given 11th day of December 2024 in the PUP Santa Mesa, Manila. Signed, Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo, Director, Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, Tomas Otestor, MPA, Vice President for Students Affairs and Services. Okay. Photo op lang daw po. Okay, so in behalf of the Alumni Relation and Career Development Office, maraming salamat sa Everrise Philippines Limited, lalo na sa kanyang Vice President for Communication, Ms. Marilyn Bentenilla. So our next industry partner, guys, ay nasa Sumpo. So to discuss about e-resume writing and interview tips, magdi-discuss po siya sa atin via Zoom. Let's welcome Ms. Arceo of Jobs180.com. So Jobs180 breeds or provides services to academic partner while at the student, and they connect or they serve as platform that connect the students, industry, and the academy. So let's welcome Ms. Arceo from Jobs180.com. Saglit lang po.
All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Keisha from Jobs 180, and let me just share my screen.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello po. Magandang umaga po or magandang tanghali na. Pilipians. All right. May I just ask if my screen is sharing correctly po? Okay, so I think my screen is already sharing. So hi everyone. So I know you guys are in one venue right now. So if you have questions, maybe you can send it over through Jobs180 email later. So I'm here to discuss how you can effectively market yourself using the resume link tool for your CV creation or online resume creation, and as well how you're going to ace the job interview. So let me just check the slides here. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to skip the part of the video. So I'm the Senior Marketing and Academic Linkages Officer of Jobs 180. So senior lang po sa aking position title, pero ang edad ko ay hindi naman po nagkakalayo sa inyong lahat. But first, I would just like to let you know that we need to have a checklist to consider before we apply for a job. So what are those checklists? So first is, of course, kailangan tayo ang bida sa spotlight. Okay? Second is, of course, kailangan lagi tayong handa. Be a Girl Scout and Boy Scout always. And third is, of course, kailangan tayo ang pipiliin. Kasi pag hindi tayo ang pinili, masakit yun, hindi ba? Alright. And the fourth that we need to consider, or the fourth factor we need to consider is, of course, hindi tayo mapapagastos ng malaki. Okay? And the last one is, of course, we need to consider that all of our information are secured, especially we are now transforming into the digital world. Okay, so those checklists that I have presented is included under the resume link tool. So if you're going to ask me what is a resume link tool, so this tool creates a brand for yourself and also market your skills and talents effectively. So it is a personalized URL, and you can have the option to choose your own URL. For an instance, we have johnsantos.jobs180.com, or for myself, since I have a very long name, so I cut it short to my nickname and my last name, so that will be Kisha Arceo at jobs.jobs180.com. So how are you going to acquire this free tool? Okay. So mukha lang po akong sales lady pero hindi po ako nagbebenta, okay? This tool is free. So first, you just register. How you're going to register? You'll visit your school career portal, which is schools.jobs180.com/PUP. And just click the register button and you'll be directed to the information that you need to fill out, such as your account information, your personal information, education information, and work experience. So if you haven't had any encounter with your immersion or your OJT yet, you can skip the work experience part. But if you already undergone OJT or internship, you can add that as your work experience. Okay? And when you choose your unique URL name, we advise and suggest that you use your first name, your last name, .jobs180.com, or you can use your nickname, your last name, .jobs180.com. Eh, paano ma'am kung taken na po? May kapangalan po ako. So, huwag tayo mawawala ng pag-asa kung taken na siya, okay? Let's just be creative and think outside of the box, okay? For example, if you're taking, per se, hospitality courses and your degree is HRM, so you can just put hrmkisha.jobs180.com. So, recruiters or employers can easily identify the degree that you've gotten during college. So what are the things that we need to avoid naman? So as you can see below the screen is the URL that we need to avoid using. So we need to separate our personal interest to our professional interest, okay? Because baka mag-iisip tayo na, this example, bosspogi.jobs180.com. So that will give a different impression to our employers or recruiters. Or sometimes, I love chocolates.jobs180.com. Of course, that tagging of brand can easily be confusing to the part of the hiring manager. So what we need to do is a direct branding for yourself so that they will retain that name into their mind. Parang ano yan, brand name or branding ng isang product na kilala. For example, Coke. Okay? So, of course, when you see red and white, you know that it is a brand for Coke, especially the font of Coke. So, same lang din po yan sa resume link URL. You just need to be creative with your own branding. Okay, so next is we need to use our valid email address, not our school email address, yung at pup.edu.ph, because hard pill to swallow, once we graduate, we will no longer access our school email. So we highly recommend that we use our personal email. For an instance, it's a kisha@gmail.com or kisha@outlook.com, not gwell@facebook.com or notgwell@instagram.com for us to be able to verify our account once we register and also retrieve our information once we forgot the password. Okay? And of course, the next step is we're going to complete all the necessary details that we need in a resume. But the difference between a resume link and other online builders is that the resume link is a composition of both cover letter as well as your resume. Okay? And of course, there's a bonus part which you can also use for your file management for pre-employment requirements. Okay. How we're going to complete our details? We just log in to our Jobs 180 dashboard. Okay. And we just need to fill out the contents that is needed. So, hindi nyo na kailangan mag-isip pa kung ano ang kailangan nating ilagay sa resume. All you just need to do is fill it out. Okay, so from your personal information, you can also tag your social media handles for easy communication with our hiring managers or employers since nowadays mas babad tayo sa social media rather than answering the phone number that has been calling us, especially hindi naman natin kilala, of course automatic, 'di ba, hindi natin sinasagot, right? So let's give an option for hiring employers to contact us through other channels. And for the contact information, make sure that the mobile number and phone number is the active number. Okay? Hindi po number ng kapitbahay, hindi po muna tayo mag-exchange ng SIM card with our jowa or labidabs. Okay? We need to make sure that the mobile number and the phone number is our personal number. Okay? And as I mentioned, for the work experience, if you don't have any work experience yet, apart from your internship, you can skip this part. But if you have a part-time job or any side hustles that you can also include as your work experience, you may include that under this section. And of course, for education, what we need to do is tag our alma mater, which is PUP, and the seminars that you attended during the course of your stay with PUP. Okay, so siguro naman marami tayong seminars na na-attendan na from senior high school up until first year, up until your senior year in college. Okay? So for certifications, yung pampakapal na ating resume, lahat ng certification na na-acquire natin from first year to fourth year, we can include that under certification. Or if you have outside academic certification, you can also put that and showcase, showing that you are leveling up or upskilling yourself. For achievements, of course, if you run for any student council position, you may do so whether you win or lose the election. Okay, that's part of the achievement. Or even if you just won a dance contest or any debate contest or research paper writing, whatever achievements that you have in mind, you can put that. So what if wala po tayong achievements na na-acquire within the academic year? That's okay, okay? Because you can have an outside or community achievement. Okay, for an instance, if you do volunteering for a certain community organization, you can put that under achievements or even manage an event or program for other community events or organization. Okay, and for the skills and languages, of course, let's not limit ourselves to the skills that we only acquire based on our degree or field of study. If, for an instance, you are an education graduate, but you are very good per se in graphic designing, you can add that under your skills. Okay, you might be qualified for graphic designing position, or if you are per se an accounting major, but you are good in hosting an event, you can put that under your skill as well. Okay, so sometimes our hobbies can turn into skills. For languages naman, of course, we already have two basic foreign language. Okay, So we have the local, which is the Filipino, and the foreign one, which is English. But if you took courses within college, such as foreign language, Nihongo, Mandarin, Spanish, then good for you. You can add that under language. And apart from that, we can also add our dialect. So if you know how to speak Kapampangan, Ilocano, Ilonggo, Bisaya, Waray, whatever it is, you can also put that under languages so that you can showcase your skill that you can communicate in a wide variety of community. And for our character references, ayan. Okay, so we need to make sure that the character references knows that you have included them as your character reference. Paalam nyo po sa kanila, okay? Huwag yung basta-basta ilalagay lang natin. Kasi baka mamaya, like for me, as an HR before, when I call the character reference for background checking, hindi naman po kilala yung aplikante ko. Okay, so to save the trouble, we need to make sure that before we put the information of our character reference, we need to tell them that, ma'am, sir, lalagay po namin kayo as character reference. And sino ba ang pinaka-the best na ilagay natin na character reference since we're just graduating pa lang? Okay, we need to put our professor or advisor's information as character reference. But if you already undergone internship or OJT, your internship supervisor to that company can also be part of your character reference. Okay, let's skip to the part na ilalagay natin si nanay at si tatay ha, kasi magkakaroon tayo ng bias judgment for background checking. Of course, ang sasabihin niyan, opo, kunin niyo po ang aking anak dahil siya po talaga ay magaling. Okay, so we need to be confident that whatever evaluation or feedback that is going to be given by our character reference reflects your authentic self during the course of time that you work together. Okay? And the most important part or the favorite part of most job seekers is the portfolio section. Here at the area of portfolio section, you can upload your pre-employment requirements such as your valid IDs, your TOR or diploma, as well as other requirements that is being submitted for application. If the company requires you to submit your medical records, you can just upload or scan the document and they will be able to access and view your medical records. Okay? What other things that we can include under the portfolio section? We can also include our video. For an instance, you're an engineering major and you know how to use a soldering iron, you can upload a video stating that you know how to use a soldering iron. Okay, so for an instance, the video says the tutorial on how you will use a soldering iron. Okay, so in that way, you can showcase that you are really capable on doing or using that type of equipment. Okay, if it is, for instance, back office, you can showcase your soft skills or your communication skills by uploading a selfie video. So what is a selfie video or selfie introduction video? So this is where you pretend yourself. Hindi po tayo magpe-pretend na para tayong baliw. Okay? We just need to pretend that we are answering simple and basic interview questions so that hiring managers, when they do pre-screening, especially if nasa labas tayo, tumawag sila, medyo maingay yung background natin kasi maybe nasa biyahe tayo and whatnot, they will be able to check your selfie introduction video that you can communicate well and of course you are confident enough to move around, especially do eye contact and then body language. So doon pa lang ma-assess na tayo. And that's a bonus point as a job seeker if they're able to assess it beforehand. Okay, so what is a selfie video sample? Let me just play this video quickly.
Good day. I'm Kathleen Anes Pangilinan, 19 years old from Pasig City, and currently taking BSIB with specialization specialization in web and mobile application at FEU Institute of Technology. You should hire me so I can obtain an entry-level position in the field of information technology, where I can utilize my knowledge and skills in the field that I am in. I am passionate, hardworking, and most of all, optimistic. To know more about me, you can visit my resume link, kathleenandpangilinan.jobs180.com. Thank you.
All right. So that is Kathleen, a sample of a selfie introduction video. So I know everyone is already familiar with taking a video with TikTok or uploading reels. So hindi na tayo mahihirapan to shoot ourselves for a simple selfie introduction video. Okay? So as we move along, let's discuss naman how we can upload a decent photo for our profile photo. Okay? So for the profile photo, if we're still waiting for our graduation picture, okay, so we can upload it to the resume link dashboard. Well, there's an alternate option for you guys. Okay? You can just use your uniform and then take the photo or the selfie in a white background. Siguro white na pader, ganyan. As long as it is decent looking and professional looking, you can upload it for the meantime. Okay? Let's avoid using Snapchat filters or any kind of filters that we are now using from social media because it will make a negative impression to the employers. Especially, do not upload half-naked photos or even cartoon characters, even though favorite natin yan. Okay, we need to give a professional impression that you are serious and willing to commit yourself in obtaining a position in a certain company. And for the cover photo, this is where we can navigate or include something that can be visualized, especially if you are not really that comfortable and good in expressing your thoughts through written or verbal. So there are some instances that our cover letter can be uploaded as a cover photo, okay, so that you can express whatever you want to express. For an instance, on the upper right corner, the sample there, maybe that person is a marketing staff or an executive assistant or medyo makalat lang siya talaga, okay? But in totality, the impression is baka office staff, okay? And on to the bottom left naman na ating sample, maybe she's an eye expert. We're not sure if it is an ophthalmologist or optometrist, okay? So it depends on your expression or what you would like to convey, okay? For another example, this one, maybe she's a psychology student, but she also loves art. That's why the cover photo includes a brain with a colorful background as well. And another sample is this one. Okay, hindi po yan membro ng Akyat Bahay Gang. Okay? This person would like to convey that you need to take one step at a time for you to achieve your goal. So it depends on you how you would like to convey your thoughts or your cover letter. Okay? It can be written or can be a visual option. Let's avoid this or common mistakes with our resume link. Like for an instance, you uploaded your cover photo, okay? So you're expressing or you're conveying that you're a maritime major, but you forgot to upload your profile picture. Of course, we need to make sure that tayo ang unang makikita, okay? Not a blank profile photo. Okay, let's avoid using the sample below, which is half body. Hindi naman po siya manananggal, okay? Sadyang introvert lang siya at half body yan. And let's not use memes as a profile photo. It's not professional looking. And the worst case scenario